Hey everybody, it's me again, Gravity of Natalie, coming back to you with another video. So, yeah, it has been quite some time. So, I did want to give you guys a life update. So, I think the last time we spoke, I was several months pregnant with my daughter. Well, we obviously now have a baby, guys. Believe it or not, today actually signifies an amazing pivotal moment in my life because in just about 12 hours from now, it'll be my daughter's first birthday. Yeah, a lot has happened. Ups, downs, baby spit up, diaper changes, you name it. So, I kind of want to delve back and go a little bit back to, obviously the pregnancy, labor, birth, delivery, and just kind of talk about how things are going currently. So just to kind of go back, I had my daughter, obviously, March of last year. It was a very interesting birth experience. I first and foremost had a water birth, and it was the most, like, I'm not even kidding you guys, it was the most beautiful experience that a girl could have asked for. First and foremost, I went into labor the day prior. I started kind of cramping a little bit. It was a little bit more than just menstrual cramps. It had some little spice and flavor to it. And I'm like, yeah, I think things are kind of kicking in. I think this is the real deal. Sound the alarm. This is not a drill. This is the real thing. So, having said that, I pretty much was walking around the store, and a friend of mine brought me back to my house because I was just trying to get some exercise, because that's pretty much what you do when you're at the end of labor, trying to propel things forward. So I had a doula, and the doula supported my journey throughout the pregnancy, and that's another story and another video in and of itself that I'll have to kind of talk about. But all in all, it was definitely a beautiful birth. My daughter came into this world, such an amazing, beautiful way. Like, me personally, when it comes to self-care, I'm very big on baths. That's just kind of my jig. And it just made sense to kind of go the route of a water birth. I labored and gave birth in a jacuzzi tub. My husband was right in the tub with me, and it was beautiful. I mean, we ended up going to a birthing center, and we got there at about like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we, got into the tub. Stuff started to get real at that point because, there's 3 stages of labor. There is, early labor, there's transition, and then there's active labor. And as, my mama's out there, once you hit active labor, you know what time it is. Pushing, starts fairly after that. My mom was a great support. So was my husband, my doula. It was a lot of support. It was a great support system. Counter pressure for you mamas out there that are pregnant, thinking about getting pregnant, or are currently pregnant. Please do your research on counter pressure. And if you have a friend, a partner, a parent, an older child that could be support of applying counter pressure when you are in labor, it's a heaven sent, trust me. Because without it, I don't know if I could have, endured the pain. I did have a unmedicated birth, which essentially means no meds at all. I did a lot of exercises like on the yoga ball, things with putting pillows in between my legs to kind of elevate my legs to try to help, make the birth experience and inducing that labor go a lot smoother. My daughter came, out fairly easy. Uh, you know, I'm very thankful and blessed for that. So to kind of fast forward a few things, following the birth, it was the birth in and of itself was not the challenging part to me. It was more so the aftercare and immediately after, she kind of came out of my body. At the time, I didn't realize it, but as time kind of progressed, I actually hemorrhaged, and which is like a lot of blood, and I felt very faint. Being that I was in a untraditional, birthing environment, they just kind of monitored my vitals and made sure everything was good. Luckily, I was able to be discharged about 9 hours, after birth, and I went straight home, which is, it sounds a little crazy, so I know. But for me, I just felt that I did not want to go into a traditional hospital setting. I felt like, with the LED lighting, the white walls and just everything is very overstimulating. So I decided I definitely wanted to labor at home, have a doula, have my husband support me throughout the journey, and essentially go to a birthing center, which is essentially staged like a house. Because when you kind of walk in, it's like, okay, it looks like I'm walking into a living room and then I'm going into a bedroom that is literally looking like, it's livable. So, we went into the bathroom. I birthed, labored, and delivered there. And, we were able to kind of chill out in the bedroom, hang out, kind of get my grips and slowly recover, beginning the recovering stages of birth. After that, essentially go home. So I had my daughter at about like 2:30 in the morning, and I was back home the same day by maybe like 9:30, 10 o'clock that same morning. It felt very easy for me to just kind of go back home, and kind of take it easy, recover. It was also ideal because, like I said, I had an amazing support system who were able to say like, hey, we'll take the baby for a little while. You take a nap, rest up. My friends and my mom were really supportive. My husband as well, with either doing house chores or preparing meals so that I could literally just recover from the birth. So fast forward a little bit, my daughter was amazing. She's developing, and I'm kind of at a loss for words, honestly. There's things that it doesn't matter the amount of reading books or pamphlets or studying or courses that you can attend that could ultimately prepare you for what it is that you face when you do become a parent. And it's not to scare you by any means, it's more so it's definitely a journey, and it's beautiful, especially with, as of tomorrow, my daughter will be turning 1 year old, and it's definitely a bittersweet thing because it's like, wow, I am going to have a child that is going to have their own opinion, views, and just ideas and all of that. So I'm definitely looking forward to her continuing to develop and progress throughout her life. My husband and I are still in a happy, healthy marriage. We are going to be married for 2 years in July. And, a big celebration that we kind of gifted / rewarded ourselves with was ultimately purchasing our first home, guys. Yay! I know. Can you believe it? We are officially home owners. Hey, call it what you want. We challenged the status quo, and we decided that, just a few days after going into the year of 2024 that we will officially be closing on our house, and we made it happen. You know, we had initially went through the process of, you know, going to showings and looking at different properties and putting offers and getting outbidded and all of that stress when it comes to purchasing your first home. And eventually we found our house, and listen, I don't know what you want to call it, you know, luck, prayer, whatever, but things definitely worked out in our favor. So in the best way to describe it, essentially before our daughter turned 1 and before we have been married for just a few months shy of 2 years, we closed on our house, because we both kind of come from that background of wanting to have a place to raise our children where we're not kind of moving around a lot, because, you know, both my husband and I, we didn't really have a house that we grew up in, like, oh, I remember this. You know, we either lived in apartments or, you know, rented out houses and stuff like that. So now that we have implemented, you know, the structure that we wish that we could have had growing up, but I mean, hey, our parents did that the best that they could, and we are so loving to them and thankful for, you know, the efforts and you know, the things that they contributed within our life and are still contributing, I might add, because listen, top tier to have parents that are still loving, supportive, even into your adulthood is, but also don't, you know, let's not discredit. Sometimes we have to establish boundaries with parents because, hey, we may or may not get along. You know, they may have emotionally abandoned us, but hey, that's another topic of discussion, because now I'm putting my therapist hat on. So excuse that. Yes, as you guys know, I have my master's in social work. I also made a huge transition, you know, prior to us obtaining our property. And I left working in an agency, which prior was hospice care, and I left that to go into private practice. So now, for about a year now, I have been a fully remote, working from home, full-time telehealth therapist. And it is definitely amazing. It's been a journey. And here's another tip. That's another video. I'll kind of delve a little bit more deeper about the ins and outs of what it's been like being a telehealth therapist. And for, you know, my followers out there who are considering going down that road of going into social work and what it looks like from a telehealth platform, I'll definitely explore that more with you. But I mean, yeah, guys, like a lot of things have transpired since the last time we spoke. And I am ultimately looking forward to tapping back into, you know, the channel, because I'm not even gonna lie, life has been lifing. And, you know, hey, once you become a parent, your child, and obviously your spouse, if you are married, or your partner, your significant other, becomes top priority. And unfortunately, other things just kind of go on the back burner. But, you know, thank you guys for supporting me and tuning in. And I look forward to creating more videos. Please stay tuned, because, you know, I got a lot up my sleeve. You know, I'm very creative. So I'm definitely going to do, you know, videos talking about the home improvements that we've done, talking about, you know, lifestyle, home decor, talking about, you know, therapy and all those kinds of fun things. So thank you guys for tuning in, and, you know, hang on and you know, ride this journey with me, and stay tuned to the upcoming videos that I kind of put out there.